But hey, that could be me, and I could, if I can get a credit card, you know, my interest might not be as high because I'm not an undocumented worker, so to speak.
Right. But at the end of the day, I mean, the bank recognizes fiscal trends. I mean, they're very good at that. That's why they're banks. They know that this is an untapped market. In fact, many people are completely unaware of the fact that undocumented workers have contributed a $500 billion into Social Security. Now, that's a system that they'll never draw out of. They'll never receive any benefits from. But it does demonstrate the fact that they can generate quite a bit of money. And where do they spend that money? Well, they spend it on American companies. They spend it on American goods. They buy gas. They buy groceries. And anything that's gonna prop up the American economy, I just don't know how anybody has a problem with that.
There are some folk who say they're still here illegally. And so because they have violated the law by entering the country illegally, they should not be able to have access to a credit card. And your response to that as well?
Well, my response is a very practical response. Yes, they're undocumented. There's no question about it. They're here illegally. And I think people that skirt that issue do the situation a disservice. That is why I've always advocated for a more comprehensive immigration reform. But on the practical side, they're here. We have to deal with the fact that they're here. They're intertwined in society. They're good, hard-working citizens. They believe the big three: faith, family, and hard work. Banks know that. So what do we do when they are here? And I think the solution to that is you put them on the road to citizenship by extending credit, allowing them to have mortgages, and in essence strengthen the entirety of the American society.
You think there are people who feel like this is giving the undocumented worker an opportunity that they don't have here as an American citizen?
Well, I mean, they can say that, but my suggestion to them is to pay your bills on time, work hard, and apply for the same credit card that, and you should get it.
Let's continue the conversation, but you touched on reform. You opened that door. Let's walk through it. Your president is in favor of a guest worker program. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do, with some provisos. I think that there doesn't need to be an amnesty program. I think this country has a right to say who stays and who goes. I think we have a right to control our borders. It's irresponsible to do otherwise. However, there are two different issues. There's a border security issue, and then there is an issue with respect to immigrants that are here. There are millions of folks here.
12 to 15 million.
12 to 15 million.
Low estimate.
Probably a low estimate.
Yes. And so how do we handle those?
Well, I think what we do is we do a graduated earned citizenship program where if you've demonstrated that you have held a job, continuous work history for 5 years, you have not committed any crimes, which, just so you know, the immigrants commit crimes in statistically lower numbers than the general population, and you pay your taxes. Those three things, and I think after 5 years, you have demonstrated what it takes to be a good American.
Well, you heard many of the citizens in Fort Worth and Laurie Berger's piece.
Yeah.
And Bank of America is being thrown under the bus kind of right now, but rest assured they're all lining up to roll out their own program, other financial institutions. But do you think, as we close this segment, do you think that this causes the chasm, if you will, to grow wider between the undocumented worker and American citizens?
No, I don't, and here's why. Because one of the strongest ties that binds folks are fiscal ties. And when you have a large group of folks who are fiscally tied to this country, generating income, spending money, you're going to see some return on that in terms of binding the two groups together. So I think at the end of the day, this is going to actually unify everybody rather than divide everybody.
All right, but right now it's a hot topic.
It's a hot topic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Evangelista-Ysasaga, Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you coming and talking about this issue.
Sure.